Picture a foggy Sunday morning in a rundown diner, off Route 66. A black man in his 70s hunches alone by the rain-streaked window. He picks at his eggs, barely eating, while a faded tattoo on his wrist, a dagger stabbing straight through an anchor, catches the dim light like a warning flare. Laughter cracks from the big table in the center, sharp and mean. That ink? Looks like he drew it with a crayon in prison. One guy jeers, the others howl. The manager shifts on his feet, then leans in. Sir, you're making folks uneasy. How about the patio? The man stands slow, tray wobbling in one hand, cane steadying the other, his broad shoulders sagging under years of quiet weight. A single tear slips down his cheek as he shuffles out. Inside, the laughs fade to smirks. But then, the bell above the door rings sharp. A young Navy SEAL bursts in, boots hitting the floor like thunder. His eyes lock on that tattoo through the glass. The whole place goes dead silent. What secret does that mark hold? And why is this SEAL looking at him? If a moment like that stops you cold, hit like right now and comment below. What's the bravest thing you've seen someone do without a word? Welcome to HeroHush Stories, where forgotten heroes step into the light. Let's uncover this one. Out in Grand Falls, Indiana, a speck of a town where the factories closed decades ago and the main drags lined with boarded-up dreams, Sundays had their own heartbeat. Harlan's Diner was ground zero, a greasy spoon with checkered floors worn smooth by 1,000 work boots and walls yellowed from years of fry grease and cigarette ghosts. It was Veterans Day discount hour, the place buzzing by 8:30 with old-timers in faded caps, families straight from the 9 a.m. service at First Baptist, and the locals who ordered the same thing every time, biscuits drowning in gravy, no questions. The smell hit you first, thick-cut bacon snapping on the grill, coffee brewing black and bitter, mixed with the low hum of silverware scraping plates and a scratchy radio playing Johnny Cash like it was still 1972. Signs taped crooked to the windows screamed, 50% off for heroes, show your service. A dusty flag hung limp over the register, and one booth already overflowed with empty mugs while a couple of graybeards swapped fish tales from wars that felt like yesterday. Tucked in the far back, right under the buzzing exit sign, sat our man, Elias Washington, a tall black veteran pushing 80, built like a willow tree that's bent but never broken. His hair was a tight cap of silver wool, his face a map of deep creases around eyes that had seen too much dawn and too little mercy. He wore a wool jacket patched at the elbows, jeans stiff with age, and under the table, a metal prosthetic leg caught the light now and then, a souvenir from a jungle he never talked about. Elias didn't come for the crowd. He showed up once a year, on this day, claimed his corner booth like it was his by right, and ordered low, eggs scrambled soft, toast dry, coffee straight. No sides. No small talk. He'd nod when the plate hit the table, eat half, leave a $1 tip, and slip out before the rush. No hat with pins. No stories swapped over pie. Just him, alone as always, holding his water glass tight with both hands, like it might slip away if he let go. I'd watch him from behind the counter, me, Josie, a 19-year-old waitress scraping by on tips and dreams of nursing school. Something about Elias pulled at you. Not pity. Respect, maybe, for the way he carried himself straight despite the limp. But eyes slid past him. What got the side glances? That tattoo. It poked out from his left cuff, old and washed out, the lines blurry from sun and sweat, a simple dagger plunged right through an anchor. No color. No flourish. The rough kind you got in a back alley shop overseas, when forever meant surviving the week. Folks wondered in whispers. Was it real? What unit? But no one asked. In a town that toasted its loud heroes with free beers at the VFW, Elias was the shadow kind, there, but fading fast. And on this morning, with the rain tapping the roof like impatient fingers, those whispers were about to turn into something uglier. Why him? Why today? You could feel it coming, like thunder rolling low over the fields. It started small, that rot in the air. For guys in their 40s rolled in late, fresh from the golf course, khakis wrinkled, polos untucked, voices loud from too much Bud Light at the clubhouse. They grabbed the center booth, the one with the best view of the TV replaying old football highlights. One of them, big guy with a gut straining his belt, spotted Elias first. He nudged his pal, jerking his chin. "Yo, check the solo act. That tat on his arm. Bet he inked it himself after watching too many Rambo flicks." Chuckles spread like spilled oil. Another leaned in, smirking over his menu. "Come on, real vets roll deep, flash some hardware. This dude. Eating alone like he's allergic to glory." The laugh built, not a full bellow, but enough to slice through the diner's hum, heads turning, forks pausing mid-bite. My stomach twisted. I gripped the coffee pot tighter, pretending to refill a mug down the counter. Who gave them the right? Elias was harmless, a regular who hurt no one. But he didn't react. Not a flinch. Eyes stayed on his plate, fork moving steady, like he'd heard worse 1,000 times. That hurt more. What kind of man swallows barbs like breakfast? The room shifted uneasy. A mom across the way pulled her kid closer. An old lady by the window stared at her napkin. No one called them out. Why? Afraid to stir the pot? Or did some part of them agree, buying the easy lie over the hard truth? Then the manager waded in. Hank, clipboard under his arm, face locked in that fake-friendly squint he saved for complaints. He stopped at Elias's table, bending low like he was sharing a secret. "Listen, sir, we've had some feedback. Other customers are feeling off. Patio's open, nicer out there anyway. Sound good?" The words hung, wrapped in sugar but stinging like salt in a cut. Elias looked up slow, those deep brown eyes meeting Hank's without a spark of fight. No words. Just a tiny nod, the kind that says, "I've been here before." Resignation, pure and bone deep. He pushed back his chair, gathered his tray with one hand, cane clicking in the other. His steps dragged deliberate, the prosthetic leg humming faint with each shift of weight. Pain and pride wrestling right there in the open. He passed their table, and that's when the knife twisted. The big guy lifted his mug high, voice booming fake cheerful. "If that's seal ink, then I'm the damn Pope." The booth exploded in hoots, chairs scraping as they slapped backs. Elias kept moving. But then, a crack in the armor. One tear, hot and lone, traced down his cheek, hitting the floor with a sound no one heard but everyone felt. The laughter choked off. Forks dropped. I locked eyes with Hank. He looked away fast, fiddling with his pen like it was suddenly fascinating. No one stopped him. No one said a damn thing. Elias fumbled the door handle, metal slick from the rain outside, and stepped into the gray. Wind slapped his face, ruffling his jacket like it was trying to knock him down. He picked the loneliest table on the patio, cane hooked on the chair, plate settling cold in front of him. Eggs forgotten. Coffee going flat. Back inside, the diner exhaled, pretending normal. Orders barked. Cups clinked. Those four. They chuckled again, quieter, but the smug hung thick. Me. I couldn't shake it. Rules said stay neutral, smile, pour, don't pick sides. But watching Elias out there, alone in the damp, a black vet who'd probably given more than those clowns ever dreamed, it burned. Why him? Why now? He wasn't invisible, people saw the jacket, the limp, the quiet strength. They just chose not to care. A hero without a spotlight, dimming in the rain. I kept stealing looks through the streaked glass, shoulders rounded just a touch, steam from his mug fighting the chill. What if that's where it ended? Humiliated. Forgotten. But hold on, because at 8:46 sharp, that bell rang again. And everything was about to shatter. The door swung wide, letting in a gust that rattled the napkin holders. In walked a kid, mid-20s, built solid like he was carved from oak, black jacket zipped to the chin, haircut military tight, stance screaming discipline. No grin. No scan of the room like a tourist. Just eyes, sharp, trained, sweeping the space in seconds. He froze on Elias's empty booth, the warmth still hanging in the air. Then his gaze hit the window. Locked on the wrist. The tattoo. Time stopped. The kid's jaw tightened like a trap springing. A breath caught hard in his chest. And the diner? It went graveyard quiet. No more forks. No radio twang. Just the hiss of the grill and 100 eyes snapping to him. This wasn't casual. This was lightning striking close. That ink on Elias's arm, it wasn't some bar bet. It was a badge from the shadows, SEAL Team Delta, squad code blacked out in files even today, worn by only 7 men who walked into hell and made 9 come out. But what did this stranger see that no one else could? And was the room ready for the storm he was about to unleash? He didn't rush. Boots planted firm just inside the door, like the floor had grown roots around his ankles. Those eyes, predator-focused, stayed glued to the tattoo, the dagger's edge cutting through the anchor like it was cutting through time. This wasn't public glory. No shiny pins or parade floats. This mark came from classified nights in Nam, ops where radios died and maps lied, belonging to a ghost unit that pulled miracles from mud and fire. Elias Washington, the logistics master who'd mapped extractions blind, hauling 17 brothers from a kill box in Operation Shadow Run, feet so tight, the brass still couldn't explain them. The kid, Jaden Cole, though we learned that later, took one step. Then another. The chatter that had crept back. Gone. The coffee urn whispered softer. Everyone watched as he cut through the booths, past my counter where I stood rooted, past those 4 golf clowns whose faces drained white as fresh sheets. He reached the glass, pushed out into the wind. It slammed the door behind him, bang that made half the room jump. Elias hadn't clocked him yet, still tracing his cold eggs with a fork, back curved like he was shielding a flame from the gale. Jaden stopped 2 feet short, then straightened, chest out, heels locked, and threw a salute so crisp it could slice paper. "Chief." His voice carried strong through the window, booming over the rain. Elias Washington, Delta Team. Shadow Run legend, G5 call. Elias's head came up slow, confusion clouding those tired eyes. The wind tugged his sleeve higher, bearing the full tattoo. Jaden's words cracked just a hair, raw, all leaking through. "You're the one they drill us on, sir. The play that saved a whole platoon, no comms, no backup, just you and the stars." Elias blinked, the world tilting under him. Mouth opened, closed. Cane gripped till the wood creaked. Then, a nod, small but seismic. Jaden held the salute, rock steady. "Request to sit, Chief." Voice dropped low, but it punched through. Elias waved the chair opposite. "Take a load off, son. What's eating you?" Jaden eased down, body still wired tight, hands flexing like he was holding back a tide. Inside, nobody breathed. Waitresses mid-step. Diners mid-bite. Those 4. Their laughs had curdled to stone, eyes wide, chairs suddenly too small. Hank floated halfway to the kitchen, face ghost pale. Me. My heart slammed ribs, because I'd heard whispers of that name. Elias Washington, G5. Not a tale. A cipher passed in SEAL bunkers like Holy Writ, the black quiet who rigged drops through monsoons, ghosted squads from ambushes, record sealed because impossible wasn't in his dictionary. Grandpa Ray, my old Marine, spun those yarns by the fireplace. Elias, dark as night, steady as stone. Pulled us when the world quit. Kid stories till I saw the truth in his faded scars. Never thought I'd see the man himself, out in the wet, with a SEAL kneeling like he'd found buried gold. Rain spit harder. Jaden leaned in, words carrying clear. "You built the routes we run hot, sir. SOPs for drops in the black, that ink. Paid in full, every drop." He turned sharp to the window, eyes drilling the center booth. Anyone here twisting uncomfortable next to a giant? That's the exit. Eat your doubts in the rain. One of the four squirmed, chair scraping loud. A cough. Then up, plate half gone, face red hot. The next followed, mumbling excuses. By the time Jaden faced Elias again, just two left, staring into their mugs like they held the answers. Elias said little, as always. But his mouth tugged, a ghost of a smile, carrying half a lifetime's locked-up pride. I didn't think. Just moved. Door whooshed open, fresh pot in hand. Poured Elias's cup steaming. Turned to Jaden. You want some? Yes, ma'am. Much obliged. He took it two-handed, like it was the cup from the Last Supper. I hung there, words stuck. Then, gut punch. Hand dove into my apron, pulled a creased photo, tucked in Grandpa's old log from the Nam. Two black soldiers, young and fierce, arms slung by a bombed-out truck, grins wide as the Mekong. Grandpa Ray left, Elias right, tattoo bold and new. I slid it across the table. Elias went still. Scanned it. Looked up at me. His face cracked open, just for a beat, like seeing home after exile. Your people, name. Voice rough as sandpaper. Ray Thompson, Chief. Echo with you on shadow. Elias leaned back, breath whooshing out. Told that boy I'd split a steak when we hit stateside. Damn near did. I smiled soft, eyes stinging. He talked you up endless. Said you were the anchor when everything dragged. Elias eyed the photo again, finger tracing the edge. Then me. You got his spark, girl. Lump hit my throat like a fist. Jaden watched quiet, knowing better than to break it. Then, snap. Phone out, one click. The scene locked, Elias and his mark, steam rising, photo flat, me beside like witness. Simple shot in a nowhere morning. But Jaden knew. That night? It exploded. But right then? The air hummed electric. What came next would rewrite everything. Hold tight. Monday hit like a freight train. That photo? No polish, no pose, just raw truth, a young seal saluting a black elder with a warrior's scar, coffee bridging the years, a faded pic of brothers in arms, me blurry in the back with wet eyes. Caption hit simple, some capes get folded away. Some fights never end. Jaden posted quiet, no hype. But the web? It devoured. Faster than gossip in a small town, hotter than a brush fire. Shares piled into millions. Comments flooded, tears, shares, questions, how'd we miss this king? For the first time in 50 years, Elias Washington wasn't a whisper. He was a roar. Local news sniffed first, Channel 7 van in the lot by noon. Then nationals. By hump day, crews camped Harlan's door, mics out like weapons. Hank dodged, mumbling about misunderstandings. Me. I spoke plain. Told what I saw, the hurt, the hush, the heart. Elias didn't chase claps. He earned peace. Now give him the peace he deserves. Mail poured by Friday. First wave, vet's hands, shaky script. Delta 69. Thought G5 was myth. Dad dragged from rec, you him. Then kids, envelopes fat with tape, letters looping wild. Drawings burst color, an old black hero, tattoo glowing, smile big as the sun. One tore you, Mr. Washington, Pawpaw bawled at your pick. You brung him back. Elias stared at the stack first, lost. Dropped it at the diner counter. Figure this, Josie. You got the touch. I copied, framed prime ones, tacked a board note, crossed Elias. Say it loud, thanks. Next on, flowers choked the patio spot, no tag, just a wild rose and napkin scrawl, we see you clear. 2 weeks on, town hall rang. Wanted Elias for Veterans Day words, voice for the voiceless, that quiet grind. I called dusk. Long pause. If it lifts another, I'm there. That Sunday, I hung back in the hall, crowd thick as harvest. Elias climbed the stage, cane tapping resolve, no dress blues, just pressed shirt clean, leg buffed, cuff up on the tattoo like a dare. He gripped the mic, scanned the sea of faces. Ain't no caped crusader here. No tall tale. Did right, then stepped back quiet. If it pulled one more through, I'd run it again at sunup. That's all. He backed off. Room erupted, standing wave crashing, not for flash words, but the rock truth underneath. Truth hits hardest. After. Grand Falls flipped subtle. Neighbors hollered Elias on the sidewalk. School kids mobbed the corner store, tattoo questions flying. Churches called, not to preach, just listen. His garage, 20 years fixing rides on fumes, booked solid overnight. One dawn, high school crew rolled up, brushes and cans. Time to shine this place, sir. He grunted. Let M. Week later, gate oiled silent. Roof patched tight. Vets swung by with tool chests gleaming. Figured you need fresh iron. Elias? Never begged. Just nodded, rolled sleeves, worked on. That's him, giver, not taker. Spring thawed, mayor dropped news, plaque going up at hall, flag side. Words carved spare, to the unseen carriers. Loads we never clocked. Walked lone so squads walked home. Bottom, the tattoo, steel sharp. Unveiled day, Elias stood close, hand brushing cold metal. No talk. Eyes misted, but dry. Didn't need more. Then the twist no one saw, Elias's 80th, low-key. Coffee and crust, good enough. But fate laughed. Morning hum grew, engines growling close. I stepped diner side in time, 3 black SUVs, 2 Humvees tailing. 7 seals piled out, cuts fresh, boots spit, blues crisp as new bills. Last ride, my cousin Tia Thompson, Grandpa Ray's blood, box in arms, flag folded triangle tight. Elias wiped grease from the bay, brow nodded. Saw M. Froze. Tia fronted. Morning, chief. Voice shook light. Might not ring bells. He blinked hard. I do. Ray's echo in you. She grinned through shine. Here for your day, and the words stuck in throats. Elias scanned the line. They marched up, salutes snapping one by one. No show. Just the box slid over. Inside, metal heavy, seal foundation stamp, name, code, line below, beyond the quiet. He breathed faint. Reckoned it lost. Tia gripped warm. Never was. Elias held it, thumbs grinding letters. Breeze sighed trees. World slowed, streets empty, phones mute, air thick. The 7 stood back, sharp as knives but soft-eyed, knowing this ran deeper than drill. Tia close, whisper near. He'd burst proud. Elias met her gaze. She fought the flood. Ray. Meeting you. Saying this, for him, for the line. Slow blink. Hand out, gentle take. Top of the heap, that one. Tia nodded. You both. Elias's eyes lit young, nom fire flashing, 8 sworn tight, 1 left holding thread. No more solo carry. Town turned that week. Quiet quake. Council motion, rename the block by his shop. No poll, no cash king, just the man who shunned names. 3 weeks, sign up, clean white on post. Shadow Step Lane, for Elias Washington, Delta Shadow. Honor the hush. No scissors. Elias hated fuss. Flag planted base instead, small and proud. He kept wrenching after, slower gait, same grit. Folks dropped more, not just oil changes, but time, chats over hoods, ears open. Kids left sketches. Vets swapped prints yellowed. He spoke spare. Hated lights. But catch him easy afternoon. Chopper late 4 minutes, humped a brother cross smoke blind. No hero tag. Just close the loop. That's how Elias rolled. Till the loop closed on him. 3 years gone, September crisp snapped cold, hall flags dipped half. Elias slipped easy in sleep. No fight. No fanfare. Just gone, true to form. Town locked still. Diner shut noon. School sent kids home. By 2, crowd swelled at Edge Chapel, white clapboard peeling, steeple tilting left like a nod. They came mixed, steel toes with dress greens, caps low over robes, uniforms mothballed tight. They knew the load he hauled, words or no. Service plain, strong, pine box flag wrapped. Elias's call, no speeches, no slides, no roll call. One tune, amazing grace, slow drag like feet in mud. 6 seals, Jaden lead, shouldered him, flown cross country, no ask, just duty to the debt. Tia front row, photo clutched, the brother's last snap. At graveside, she knelt, pressed its soil close. Whisper, you held for 2. Stone read spare, Elias Washington, date spanned. Town added, didn't seek. We knew. Hush roared. Deeds remade worlds. Harlan's keeps the vet deal Sundays. Corner booth. Empty always. Brass plate fixed, saved for Elias Washington. Delta G5. Wars end. Wars carry on. Out-of-towners probe, him. Locals thumb the sign, grin faint. Shadow step. Here, tales don't yell. They endure, one steady step, one steel heart, till the whole place recalls. And maybe, heart deep, we all do. In the blackest spots, grit finds cracks. Quiet corners breed the real fire, not for fame, but fix, one meal, one stand, one life flipped. Forget the yarn. Let it die quiet, past dies too. HeroHush stories keeps em burning, right wrapped, brave breathed, buried bold alive. If Elias's stand lit a fire in you, the kind that says courage hides in plain sight, smash like, subscribe for more hushed heroes, comment your take on quiet wins, and share this with someone who needs the lift. Next drop. A whistleblower's whisper that toppled giants. You won't blink. Stay tuned. Shadows got stories.